morning call is not covering a lot of things that it used to be covering or ought to be covering. I invite the board to contact the morning call and ask why your events are not being covered. Let's get them on the hook too. They're not doing their job by my account. Thank you for this chance.
Right. Thank you,
Can I
David.
just quickly follow up in the same way that I'm following up to say that we talked about the transparency and putting things on the website and other things we're going to do in terms of meeting times and places. We also discussed in depth, because of course everyone I think by now on the board knows that this piece is very important to me as well, from an administrative order perspective, because I believe we can do it, and we can do it by the time we said we were going to do it if we're serious. But you know, regardless of that, with all the documents that are already out there, and I'll just take an example. You know, this is a Gantt chart, right? And we have all of these timelines and things where we got to do things, right? And so I think, you know, where it could go a long way towards providing information to both the board and the public is to utilize this data, and we talked about putting various things on the website, as you mentioned. We can have studies, but to have, you know, lots of pages of studies and other things to digest would, in my opinion, not be as effective as showing, you know, what do you got to do, when do you have to do it by, and how much it's going to cost, and how are we doing. So there's a lot of things that we can do from a transparency perspective to get that stuff up on the website, and we talked about doing that. I think that can go a long way toward making everybody more comfortable, and also, most importantly, then asking the right questions. I even struggle with what are the right questions after I digest this stuff, and I don't want to spend anybody's wasted time asking 50 questions when there's really probably only 2 or 3 that are important. That would help, I think, in going a long way towards transparency so that the public would feel like they know what's happening, and also allow us to make better discussions and decisions. So I would concur that we need to do a better job of getting information out in a concise way where we can digest it.
My only challenge is like I'm on this board since '06, and we've had a lot of studies and a lot of information that if we put timelines on any one of them, we'd have been wrong most of the time. Because there's so much information that we have to absorb and other municipalities that we have to cooperate with. If we put every timeline of everything that we think about on, and discuss and study and bring in experts and hear presentations and read about, we just confuse the public.
Well,
we have to
have
get
to
the ones
decide,
that we
right?
commit to.
Right. But we have this, which is what we told the EPA we're going to do. Right? And when we say that, we have to do it. Right? So I think we have to decide.
But I think there's more that we can do to summarize. I think that's the key thing I heard from you, Dean, is that it's not, I mean, how many people really want to see a Gantt chart with 150 items on there?